All throughout Cody Rhodes' life, he felt like he was in the shadow of his father, living up to expectations, not only his own, but everyone else's. After losing the WWE Championship from his father, Dusty, who passed away while he was in the middle of his WWE run, Cody decided that he needed a new direction in his career. He left the company and went to the Indies, where he rebuilt his name and eventually started his own promotion. But along the way, it seemed like he was destined to be the No. 2 guy in wrestling forever. Even after accomplishing everything he set out to do, it still wasn't enough. So what did Cody do next? He went back to the place where it all began for him, WWE. And after years of toiling, defeating legends, and overcoming obstacles, he finally won the championship and silenced all the doubters once and for all. This is the emotional story of Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Cody's professional wrestling career really began when he was only 7 years old in 1987. His father, Dusty Rhodes, had just signed with the WWF, and the young Cody and his brother Dustin were invited into the ring by their dad. At this point, the family would travel around wherever Dusty needed to wrestle, whether it was Georgia or Florida. He wanted them to see what it was that he did for a living. It was at these events that Cody fell in love with the business and dreamed of one day becoming a wrestler himself. However, both parents didn't want that for their boys. They knew how grueling a career in wrestling could be, and they didn't want their sons to go through that. So instead, they tried to focus on academics, urging them to get good grades and enroll in college. But Cody's mind was already made up. He wanted to wrestle. While attending high school in Orlando, Florida, Cody and his brother trained secretly in a garage with a few other students. The two brothers continued their studies until they graduated from high school in 2001 before heading off to college, but their dream of becoming wrestlers was now taking over. So the pair enrolled in Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was WWE's developmental territory at the time. There, Cody took on a new persona, Cody Rhodes, and he began training under head trainer Danny Davis. Once he finished training, Cody debuted in OVW in May 2003, and within 2 years he won the OVW Heavyweight Championship twice. All the while, he was still trying to keep his identity a secret from his mother, Michelle, who absolutely did not approve of him becoming a wrestler. But it was only a matter of time before Cody was called up to the main roster. In June 2006, Cody made his WWE debut alongside his brother as the new duo Legacy. Dusty Rhodes' presence was still very much felt during this time because of his legendary status. As a result, Cody and Dustin felt a lot of pressure, and they struggled to live up to their last name. Nevertheless, the duo began feuding with WWE legend Ric Flair, and they even got their hands on the WWE Tag Team Championships in November 2007. That same year, though, tragedy struck. Cody's father, Dusty, passed away from a heart attack at the age of 69. While Cody was still mourning the loss of his father, he was forced to continue his feud with Flair, who at the time was also grieving the passing of his close friend and tag team partner, Rowdy Piper. Although the match was nothing more than a formality, Cody was tasked with pinning Flair for the victory. It was definitely an emotional moment for Cody, especially since he looked up to Flair as a kind of second father figure. After this, Cody wanted to take some time off to grieve for his real father. But WWE didn't really allow for that. They kept pushing him in the storyline, which caused Cody to resent the company, and soon enough, he was done. In March 2009, Cody's contract expired, and he chose not to renew it. He later said that he was being paid $300,000 a year and asked for a raise to $500,000. But WWE wouldn't budge, so he decided to leave. After leaving WWE, Cody wrestled on the independent circuit and tried to build a name for himself outside of his father's shadow. In 2010, he returned to OVW and captured the OVW Television Championship. In 2011, he joined Ring of Honor and had a few solid runs with the Raw World Championship, capturing the title once. Around this time, Cody and his wife Brandy, who is also a professional wrestler, had their first child. And in order to honor his late father, they named him after him, Dusty Rhodes. By this time, Cody's name was slowly beginning to grow in the industry. So it came as no surprise when WWE came knocking on his door again in 2016 and offered him a contract. WWE officials assured him that they had big plans for him, and he ended up accepting the offer. Upon returning, Cody was immediately placed in a feud with WWE Champion Roman Reigns. It was clear that WWE was trying to pass the torch from Reigns to Cody, but unfortunately for Cody, he lost the match. Despite the loss, Cody was given another chance at the title 6 months later, but he lost once again. Although he wasn't winning any championships, Cody was becoming a fan favorite. And in 2018, he formed an alliance with fellow wrestlers Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. Together, they challenged Cesaro, Sheamus, and Bobby Lashley for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships, but they were unsuccessful. Soon after, Cody suffered an injury that kept him out of action for several months. When he returned, he found himself in a rivalry with the B-Team, a comedy duo comprised of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Cody ended up teaming up with his former rivals, Cesaro and Sheamus, to defeat the B-Team. For a brief time, the trio was known as The Bar and was managed by Sheamus's on-screen wife, MMA star Ronda Rousey. However, Ronda's absence due to pregnancy caused the group to disband. By 2020, Cody was back in the title picture and was given yet another opportunity to win the WWE Championship, but he failed once again. It was at this point in his career that Cody realized he may never reach the top in WWE, and he began exploring his options. At the same time, AEW was gearing up for its launch, and many wrestlers were curious about the new promotion. Some saw it as a threat to WWE, while others were excited about the prospect of working for a company that was supposedly more wrestler-friendly. Cody was among those who were intrigued, and he ended up signing with AEW. Within months of joining the company, Cody and the Young Bucks solidified their spot as the top stars of AEW by winning the AEW World Tag Team Championship 3 times. But Cody's goal was always to be a singles competitor and hold the top prize in any wrestling organization. In 2021, Cody became the inaugural AEW TNT champion, a title created specifically for him. Cody successfully defended the title numerous times against tough competitors such as Malachi Black, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Sammy Guevara. But sadly, his reign came to an end in July 2022. Later that year, Cody and his wife Brandi announced that they were leaving AEW, but this wasn't due to any controversy or tension backstage. Instead, it was simply because Cody was going back to WWE. Many fans were shocked by this news. After all, Cody had been one of the founding fathers of AEW, and had helped to make it the success that it is today. But Cody's decision to return to WWE showed that he was willing to put aside his loyalty for the sake of his career. Upon returning, Cody aligned himself with none other than his old rival, Roman Reigns. Fans were shocked to see the two men embrace after their long history of animosity. But it was all part of a plan to elevate Cody, and in April 2023, Cody won his first WWE Championship. Just 2 months later, however, he suffered a torn pectoral muscle. This was a devastating setback for Cody, but he refused to let it keep him down. With the help of his wife and medical staff, he was able to make a full recovery. Now that he was healthy again, Cody set his sights on regaining the championship. But he knew that he would have to go through Roman Reigns once again. Their paths had crossed so many times before, but this time it was personal. On April 2024, at WrestleMania 40, Cody finally defeated Roman Reigns to become the face of WWE. As the crowd erupted in cheers, Cody raised his championship high above his head in victory. Years of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice had finally paid off. In that moment, he knew that he had silenced all the doubters, who had ever said he would never amount to anything. Looking out at the sea of adoring faces, Cody felt a sense of pride and accomplishment wash over him. He had come full circle. From the son of a legend to a champion in his own right, Cody Rhodes had arrived.